Okay, where's the other cards for today? Hi, everyone.
Are we on?
We're on. I told you we were coming on. I said put everything away and the banana.
Hey!
How's everybody doing? Welcome.
Welcome.
We are coming in and people are starting to log in.
Banana.
She's got a nana.
Banana.
Banana Fanafor. We can't even do that because they're gonna.
Oh, they'll get us.
We can't do anything anymore. Hey, Tom. Tom's already here.
Tom.
So how are you guys doing today? We're really excited about today because we're gonna have some fun. F-U-N-N. So Babette, how was your week? As everyone starts to log in. Are we in the wrong spot?
Tom.
Yeah, we are today. You know why? We're on a different computer and we have a guest. So we're gonna have to be in the wrong spot today. Otherwise, I gotta move everything, and I'm not doing that today. I know it's gonna be tricking your eyes, but I'm sure you guys can manage. Hello from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia, PA.
Yeah, man.
Hello. So who we got? Read it off a bit while I.
Okay, so we have Tom, of course. Renetta Lukerson. I think Lukerson.
I don't know.
I don't have my glasses on.
Put her glasses on. I'm trying to pull it up here so we can have a big screen.
Okay, so then we have Dyer Seals Johnson. Hey, lady, she says. Hello from PA.
Maryland, Georgia.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Chicago.
Oh, there's Greta.
Illinois.
Kieta.
We got y'all coming in from everywhere.
Chicago. Hi from Illinois. Hey, everybody.
We're going to have some fun today because we're also going to, we've been trying to broaden our horizons. And we want to expand from just talking vegan because we all know, we all vegans here. Everybody knows enough about it. But we also, Jacksonville, Florida, we also want to talk about, the connection of all the parts. So today's going to be fun,
or
right?
even just talk to someone who's transitioning.
Yeah.
Or either contemplating.
And has transitioned and fell backwards.
Right.
Because that's real too.
That is real.
So, so it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, man, it's going to be real
good.
It's
going to be good.
Yeah, man, it's going to be real good,
And I don't quite know what accents we have. You guys doing good? I hope everybody's having am vegetarian. Okay, well, vegetarian works too. We ain't mad at nothing.
It all works.
We ain't mad at nothing.
Tom said, Babette, Banana Fana.
Ashley's here. Hey, Ashley.
What is Tom singing? Banana Fana, Fofana, B5, Momana.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Banana.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is now, before we bring in Mike, we're going to have some fun today. We got a handsome guy with us.
Oh, child.
Okay, I can't do it this way.
Why can't you?
Oh, I can see the comments here. Okay, good. We got it.
Okay, so he's like really, really handsome ladies, ladies. Let me tell you, ladies. Okay, so let me tell you, he's handsome to me. First of all, he's tall. He's dark. He got bow legs.
We were just talking about how back in the day, growing up in our neighborhood, if you had bow legs,
whoa,
you were cute. I mean, you didn't even have to be cute, but if you had bow legs, you were cute.
You were just fine.
So anyway, and guess what? This is his book called Woke. All righty, go ahead and make the comments.
Y'all know it.
Comment.
Come on, ladies. Say something.
Comment.
Okay,
I'm gonna put it right in front of my face.
Okay.
But guess what Tara gets to do? See, Tara, which is Moi.
Yeah, go on, tell me.
Moi, this gentleman right here plays my husband in 2 different series.
Yes!
Well, in one, he's my ex-husband, and we're trying to get back together. And in the other one, he's actually my husband. And one of them is called Stuck With You. Yes, he is handsome. Yes, he is.
Yes, ladies.
Alexander. Anyway, so we're going to talk a lot with him today. So he's on a series called Stuck With You. And that's on, used to be UMC. That's airing now, but it's on All Black channel.
All Black.
And then a new series that actually Rebecca's into, but it's all about women 50
plus
life and stuff. And he plays my ex-husband on that. So actually tomorrow he looks like Viola Davis's husband a little bit. I know Julius just a little bit, but different. But yeah, similar. So yeah, tomorrow we have another scene. I have to make out with him. I'm so tortured.
She gets to make out with him.
What am I gonna do with my life? It's horrible.
So
anyway,
should we call him
let's
out?
call him in. And God, guys, you go purchase this book called Woke. Now, woke doesn't just mean in here. Woke mean what you put in your mouth. Are you woke about your life? Let's bring in Michael Dyer. Mickey, Mike.
Woo! Michael Dyer.
Yeah,
Welcome.
And he looks just like the book.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, baby.
Thank you.
Look at
Yes.
that.
You so silly.
What's up, everybody?
How y'all doing?
Okay, what's the lady saying? Anything?
He looks, let's see. He looks like this, like he smells good and he's intelligent.
Yeah, he smells good.
He smells good.
And he's real intelligent.
And he's a nice country boy with manners.
He's really nice and he's
He's
bow-legged.
very- and he works on himself,
And he's
guys.
bow-legged.
And he works on himself. He's one of those people that put in the work to become a better
And he
human
just
being.
has just enough of this. Just enough.
Anyway, so we're excited to have him. We've known Mike for 100
You
years.
guys are family.
And yeah, we're family. So tell us a little bit about, let's start with your diet. Since we're about veganism, we're going to start from there and we're going to go to woke. And he's
Okay.
got these relationship cards, guys, that is so dope. We were sitting here doing them. So this is going to be fun. And y'all can ask any questions. y'all
Anything
want.
you want. Anything. All right. My diet.
Like, tell us, what do you eat? Like, where are we in the diet department? Are you comfortable?
For real, y'all really want to know the truth?
Well, I want to know, are you
I'm comfortable.
That
Yeah, I'm
little-
comfortable. How you
that
feel?
little chair
Y'all look
about to
comfortable?
fall down?
Yeah,
I'm comfortable.
so what?
My diet is vegan most of the time, but sometimes I'll have some fish. Depending on, sometimes I'll, you know what? For me, honestly, with my diet, it could be better. Because even though I call myself a vegan most of the time, is that I find myself picking up some weight, especially because of the pandemic and everything. I've gained a lot of weight. And how do you diet when you're a vegan? I mean,
You don't diet.
how
Mike!
do you stay in shape though?
Mike, like I consider myself a vegan most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
So when you fall off, what do you eat?
Fish, he said.
Fish.
Fish? I'm gonna listen. I was reading. Sorry.
Yeah, fish.
Okay, so fish. And you're trying to lose weight.
Yes.
You look great though.
I know.
Thank you. No, I used to be better. I wish I could.
Well, part of it is also with transitioning of the aging process.
And
right? Don't you
also,
think?
we've been locked down, and a lot of people have picked up a little extra pounds.
So what do you normally eat? Like, what is a go-to meal for you
Wow,
in a day? Like, tell us what your normal diet is for the day.
that's hard because I go to stuff you eat and.
Please look.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking about it. It would be a salad. It would be like, is it some tofu?
Mike, wait.
What?
You know what you eat every day.
I don't.
Why you up here trying to
I
think?
don't.
Let me see.
I don't think about it. I eat salad and I just try to eat. I eat twice a day, basically. Right?
Okay, so what do you
In the
eat
morning
twice a
time.
day?
Morning
Yeah,
time.
morning time. What you eat?
Right after 12 o'clock,
Mhm.
I'll have.
That ain't morning time. Oh, you talking about midnight? 12 o'clock?
No, 12 o'clock.
What?
No,
Morning.
I
That's
thought-
afternoon. That's lunch.
But that's morning for
That's
me.
morning.
Oh, that's
So I go-
morning for you.
So I go to the gym,
Okay,
right?
got
I go to the gym, right? And then I have something around noon.
Mhm.
And it'll be like a salad.
Mhm.
And there's a place, it's a Mexican restaurant in the valley that I would go and I would have whatever they have. That's vegan.
Okay, whatever they have that's vegan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
And then in
He didn't
Whatever,
eat.
whatever. You don't even know.
He didn't eat yesterday, y'all. He didn't eat yesterday.
What did you eat
He don't
yesterday?
even remember.
I went to the Sun Cafe. You guys familiar with
What's
Sun
Sun
Cafe?
Cafe? Yeah.
Yes, Sun Cafe.
Yeah, that's a good place.
And they had a special meal. They had a special dish that was really good, and I can't tell you the name of it. It was some taco, vegan taco.
Okay.
Some of the stuff was raw. So that's it. I don't. You know what? I really don't pay a lot of attention to. Like,
It's not the biggest part of your day.
it's not. It's
Okay,
not
You get something to feel better and keep it moving.
exactly.
So why do you fluctuate between vegan and
Right.
fish? Because Tom says, tell him to watch Seaspiracy.
Yeah, he definitely needs to see Seaspiracy.
Please ask him to watch
Yeah,
Seaspiracy.
you definitely.
But
need
the
to
point
watch
is, why
that.
do you think you fluctuate between both?
Well, have a taste for fish, like sushi. Like I'm having taste, having a craving for sushi and stuff like that.
Well, you know what I've learned when I let go of all that is that it's not even the fish and the sushi that you crave; it's the whole experience. So what I started to do when I want some sushi, I get avocados rolls or the vegetable rolls, because it's really the seaweed with the rice and the soy sauce and all of that together.
It's not even enough of the fish in there
to make it. It's really the experience of all the pieces together, and I'm satisfied to have that experience. Like one of the things that was hard for a lot of people is, especially when you love fish, is to let go of the fried, having your fried fish. And now you get your fried oyster mushrooms or your fried broccoli that you had. And I had this fried cauliflower. In New York, that's like the batter is killer by my daughter's house.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You don't miss the thing, you just miss the experience. Like I miss the crunch.
Yeah.
And then once I have the crunch in the pool, I'm good.
Yeah.
Good.
True.
I feel the same way, about that.
What you feel?
I feel that the fact is I miss that old way of eating, the crunch and stuff like that. And for me right now, I eat to live, not live to eat. And it sounds weird, but I don't really plan my day around my meals and stuff like that. So I'll do what I need to eat, do what I need to do to eat to stay healthy.
So how do you feel you picked up a little extra weight?
I feel that not working out probably. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it.
On lockdown.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So now it's just a matter of getting it off. So it's like dieting is useless.
Are you saying that I can eat a healthy vegan meal and not
I never think about dieting.
I
just don't. I keep it simple pretty much. I don't believe in diet. I don't even weigh myself.
I never weigh myself. I have clothes that I put on.
My clothes tell me.
Yeah. Ooh, tight.
Yeah, or either if I don't have an opening between my legs, I've gained too much weight.
Mine too. They stop right there.
I have to keep the opening between my legs.
It sounds personal, but anyway.
Sounds good.
That did sort of sound a little funny.
She's gonna leave the door. She's gonna leave the door open.
I need an opening.
Yeah.
She's gonna leave the door. I'm
No.
Anyway,
so but you guys you've been a vegan your whole life basically?
No. I've been a vegan since 1990.
Okay.
And I started in 79. Well, not vegan, vegetarian 79.
Okay.
And now I couldn't eat meat at all because I would be in the hospital.
And see, that's what happened to me. One day I was eating meat and my body just started rejecting it. And
You
I
talking
couldn't
about
eat
meat, not fish.
No, meat.
Meat.
No, yeah, meat, right. I was eating meat and all of a sudden my body I couldn't eat it.
It'll make
I was
you
chewing
sick.
into it. It was something was happening.
It'll make you nauseous.
So something in my body was calling out, say, no more of this, no more of this meat that I was eating. So, and then I read the book. I think it was by Dick Gregory. Eat to Live, right?
Yeah,
and that taught me a lot. But I think it's about education. I mean, I grew up in the South, pork, chitlins, pig feet, chicken every day. But that's the way. That's all I knew.
Back to thinking about the fact that we ate pig's feet and chitlins. Now, chitlins are the intestines of the pig.
Have you ever cleaned them?
I would know because I wouldn't eat chitlins.
Well,
I did eat pig's feet with some hot sauce. That used to be very good.
But I ate the chitlins, and the chitlins, I even cleaned them, and that was one disgusting job because you realize you're about to eat the intestines of another creature, and you're cleaning the poop out of his intestines so you can cook it and eat it. And it's filled with fat, so there's a lot of fat on chitlins. And so you have to boil them, let them cool off, scrape the fat off, boil them again, let them cool off, scrape the fat off. You do that several times so you can get most of that fat, that heart clogging, artery clogging fat off the of the chitlins. But I mean, to actually clean the poop out of these things and then turn around and cook them and eat them, where was I?
Well, where was most people?
I know.
But like when you think about it, that's just the process, and that's what we were taught to do.
Right. If you do better, you do better. Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
You want a back?
No, fine.
You need a back because
I'm
we
great.
switch chairs.
Because we can.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. We don't want you. We don't want our guests uncomfortable. We are comfortable with backs, and we put them in a stool.
Yeah. Thank you.
But we did eat that way to survive because we were given everything on the animal that nobody else wanted to eat. So our people figured out how to make a delicacy
Yeah, she said she eat and clean too. Country life. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is that it's one thing to when your parents kind of pass that down to you, and then as we get more educated and learn more about it, then we kind of you know make decisions based on okay, you know that there's a saying that people that I think OC used to say when he would talk about you know how you would when you go in and make your bread, you would get 4 little pans because your mama got 4 little pans. And everybody's making the bread in 4 little pans. And then you pass that down to your daughter. She's making her bread in 4 little pans. And somebody said, well, why are you doing 4 pans? And they said, well, my mama used to do that. And then they go to the mama, well, why did you make bread in 4 pans? Well, my mama did it. And then you go to that mama, she said, well,
my mama did it.
We only had, that's all we had. We didn't have a big enough pan. So it's like the consciousness that we had to use 4, but the consciousness now is you have big enough pans, but you're still doing it the same way that your parents did it because that's what we were taught. So the mindset now is that, you know, and then the saddest part for me now, you know, is being of age, 25. No, I'm just joking. Being of age, you know, a lot of my friends right now are going into the hospital this week. With one thing going in for one thing and then finding out now they have something else. Right. And it's really, really kind of scary. One of my friends are now talking about that they have they got to check their kidney, you know, but they went for a minor procedure. So, and then, you know, when I was having a conversation, say, well, you know, that could be rectified easily. Well, that's what the doctors, they're going to put me on some stuff. And I'm just like, okay, and I just back away.
And see, I love that you brought that up. It's how we lose control. It's 100% how we lose control. We just give it up. You know what I'm saying? So we follow in the footsteps of our parents and our family members. We just keep doing the same thing that they did over and over. We get the same illnesses that they got. Everything. We just keep.
Well, Mike, and I'm sure even in your family, do you have people saying, "Oh, I have high blood pressure"? It runs in our family. It runs in our family.
Diabetes runs in our family.
So do you guys have that
all the time? Yeah, high blood pressure, all that runs in the family. I'm like, wait a minute, it runs in the family because we all eat in the same thing. But no one's telling us. See, the thing about it is that if you grow up in the South, and I grew up in Memphis, is that was the way of living. That food was that was the choices. You can't eat what's not on the table. You know, so what's on the table? When
it becomes your table, you can make a different choice.
Only if you know that there's a choice.
And that's what we're talking about. When were you woke?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I got woke when I read Dick Gregory's book.
And woke is a consciousness. It's not just the diet. It's a culmination of all of this stuff together.
What about when you start understanding your connection with the whole? That to me was the exciting part of growth for me and learning how to nourish myself. I understood that there was no separation between me and all of life. And so then I started, because at first it was just, I don't digest my foods. I can't use the bathroom. I belch too much. I'm miserable. And then I learned how to eat, how to combine my food. So all that stuff went away. And then the acne went away and the asthma went away. And because I cut certain things out of the diet, and then I began to understand.
I'm gonna give you.
But how did you get to that point? No, good. No, good. But how did you get to that point, though?
Because once I started feeling better, then I understood there's absolutely no disconnect between me and life. So then I understood my obligation to all of life, because as I take care of life, I take care of me. But I cannot destroy another sentient being, life, to nourish myself when it's not going to nourish me. So once all that stuff started making sense, I was like, then as I know this, if I harm another sentient being to eat it, I know better. I know better. And all of life didn't start this way. We ate animals when we first began on this planet. But thousands and thousands of years, we've changed and changed and changed. And now guess where we're headed?
Where?
Plant-based, 100%. If we don't, we will not survive on this planet.
I have a question. My question is this. For example, take like me coming from Memphis, being used to eating meat and all that.
Right.
So all of a sudden I stopped eating meat, but now I'm not eating meat. But isn't there some combination that I should be eating that, like have 4 food groups and back in the day? I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Right. So
but they told that triangle.
For me, like I could eat too much starch, there's other things. Even I'm not eating meat, but there's other things that probably can be as harmful as eating meat. Is that true or false?
Well, I believe that if we're plant-based, if we hang on to the plant-based, I think we're pretty much okay.
Okay.
I really do. I don't think we have a whole bunch of worry about whether you're getting too much starch and that. Now, of course, you don't want to overdo it with
the junk food and the processed plant-based,
because they process a lot of our food. I'm talking about whole, fresh food. I'm not talking about stuff in a box or stuff in a bag, or you know what I mean? Because they process too much of our food.
Well, some of the stuff they have that a lot of sodium is in there, so that sodium is
well,
not
see,
good for you.
they control all of that. Anything that you flip it over and it has a list of ingredients, that's what I'm talking about. An apple is an apple.
Okay.
Right. It's not an apple with some
stuff.
Unless you get.
I'm talking about whole food.
Right.
Period. Not manufactured, not in somebody's laboratory.
And you know what they're doing now? I might have mentioned this before on the show. And yes, Robert Fuller. And nobody runs or active in the family. I had this sitting up here for a while. This is another one I want to bring up. But
that's true. He's right.
People just become very comfortable now because we got 955,000 channels to watch.
Right.
Okay, but
we can't put this thing down.
We can't put it down. As soon as you wake up in the morning, what do you do, Mike?
Pick up that phone.
Yeah, get on my computer.
Yes.
Pick up the phone to check to see who liked me today, who liked my picture.
That's all we do.
Did you like me today? Because that validates me.
I don't do that, but hey, I know
yes,
people do.
But you know what I used to see in the restaurant prior to the whole COVID thing, when people were dining in, I saw so many couples
just
come in there
like this.
They ain't even talking. They're on a date and they on the phone. They're 2 separate phones.
Yeah.
I used to be like, dang.
Yeah, so Kenyatta Edwards Williams said, I agree. It's a mindset shift. I am much more conscious of what I put in my body now. My relationship with food and my body is spiritual, which makes maintaining my vegan life much easier for me.
Very good.
When you have a purpose that's bigger than whatever that is for you, it could be health.
It's true.
It could, because if somebody told you, I laugh a lot with friends. I said, if a doctor told you tomorrow, say, that's it, you got to cut it out, or that's it. You would make the shift like that. It wouldn't even be a question.
Right.
You'd be in there doing recipes and telling your story.
Yes.
It's true.
The truth of the matter for me is I realize that a lot of times food is killing us. The food that, because I would do a fast, right? I would do a fast. And all of a sudden I'm looking younger, feeling stronger. And I can understand, well, I'm not eating food. So the thing that's taking us out a lot of times, especially my family, because, they got all this weight on them. It is killing us.
It's all of us.
But no one's telling us, like, hey, what's the alternative? What else can I do? I thank God for this show right here, but a lot of people don't know better. So, like my cousin, I said, let's eat this vegetarian pizza. He said, no, where the meat at? He wouldn't eat it.
He wouldn't eat it.
No,
wouldn't even try it.
No, because there's no meat. Because that's the condition.
That's the conditioning.
Look at Tom say he sure can't put
his phone down when it comes to bites and tippets, and y'all better not put your phone down because we be coming on the show. We be tired sometimes, but we come on for you. And if you ain't here,
she fussing.
I'm not fussing. I love y'all. This
Don't she look cute today, y'all?
Do I?
Yeah,
I just put on lipstick because Mike is here.
I like your
This is my husband on 2 shows.
That's right.
We get to kiss each other. And his poor little wife is probably going to strangle me one day. He's got a beautiful wife. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about woke. And what came, Yeah, we want to talk about woke. We want to get in some of the relationship cards as well. And we're going to tie all this back into everything. Because we talk about being woke. You got to wake up your family in Alabama.
What's up with woke?
Well, woke is like being a vegan. I was asleep, now I'm woke.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Woke is basically about my life as growing up in the project, growing up, mother and father abandoned me when I was a kid, growing up being homeless, growing up not seeing my self-worth, having these suicidal tendencies.
Really?
Yeah. I felt worthless.
Really?
If my mom didn't want me, my dad didn't want me, my grandmother died and I'm homeless, it's like, why am I here?
Cry about to cry.
Damn, you went through that?
I went through all that. It's in this book. And so what it talks about is that my struggle with self-esteem. You know, I remember doing this exercise, and I invite everybody to do this, is that I looked in the mirror and I said to the person in the mirror, I love you just the way you are. And that voice said, no, you don't. Look at you, man. You look like this. You broke. Nobody loves you. But I said, I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. And I began to cry. I cried because if I couldn't convince myself to love me, then who could? And so what I did, I found myself seeking love outside of myself. I was looking for love in that relationship, in that relationship, in that relationship, looking for approval. I used to be what they call a people pleaser because what I really wanted was love. I wanted somebody to like me. So that was my hell that I was living in. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be true to spirit when my whole concern is about what others are thinking about me and looking for their love.
And what's so interesting about that, a couple of things, is that we always look at the external of people. Now, when you look at Mike, you go, man, he's so fine. He got everything. He got it all together. You don't even think that people going through stuff. That's one thing. And the other thing is that we were talking about love earlier, you know, and when we look for love outside of ourselves, when we say, I've recently really got a different definition of what being in love means. You know, like, oh, I'm so in love with this person. I think I fell in love. No, what you fought, what I learned that I fell in love with was the fact that this person, whoever this is, I feel something when I'm with them, and it makes me feel good about me.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
What I found as well is that I fell in love with the idea.
Yeah, of what,
with the idea. Who I thought that person was, like, oh man, this is my ideal person. When I got to know them, it was a whole different story.
And to add to that is that we fall in love with, we achieve these things. Like when I get the house, when I get the car, when I get the this, when I get the that, then I'm going to be happy. But really all we want is the feeling that we're going to have when we get to those things, which we can have that without those things. You see what I mean? We don't have to achieve, we don't have to have that person in order to feel that love inside or feel that excitement. We don't have to have that person. We don't have to have that car. We don't have to have that career that we're going after and drumming. Because when we get there, all we want is what that feels like to us. Why can't we just feel that in general? And that's what I'm working on in myself. It's like, I want to feel that on a regular basis without another person. So when you come, you don't really, you're an enhancement of who I am. And I don't have any expectations from you because you bring nothing but who you come and how you show up.
That's the healthiest way
to
be.
It's the hardest.
Challenging.
It's challenging, but it's workable. You can get there.
Yeah.
What?
It's easy to say it. I mean, it's easy to say. For me, that was my biggest challenge, is that I was beginning to realize that I was looking for somebody to complete me, somebody to make me feel good. And so when I said, when I get her, I'm gonna be happy. So I ended up meeting her, got her, she's cute, she liked me, blah, blah, blah. And then a few months later, I started looking for somebody else. Because that feeling of that I was looking for, she couldn't feel it. Also, when we talk about, like, you know, things that we buy, like you get that new, when I get that new car, man, I'm gonna be great. Then you get the new car 6 months later, like looking for another new car, like, wow, when a new one coming out?
Because it's not about that thing.
It's not about the thing
or the person. Or the person. It's the idea of how we believe we're going to feel when we get it.
So what do you say we should do then? Because
there's
some pretty words.
It's pretty words. But the feeling starts with self. How do I start to love and fall in love with me? Because then nobody coming in or out, no thing coming in or out can shift that, because I've learned how to be in love with myself. Part of that is how I eat. What I put in my body is important because I love me so much. I want to make sure that I'm not just throwing stuff in there to muck up, because you know what? When I don't get my spiritual walks in the morning after 2 weeks, Tico Wells, hey, Tico, when I don't get my walks, I start to get like this. Something happens to me. When I eat wrong, my left breast, that tells me your body will talk to you, people. Your body will talk to you. I have a left breast that just, when I had too much sugar, like I've been eating cookies. I heard it talk, y'all. I heard that titty talk. It was like, okay, something's going on. I was like, girl, you had cookies? What you doing eating cookies? And cookies and lemonade. And it said, we don't do that. We don't do that. And it did. I heard it. And it did. So dumb. I heard it. So, okay, so, whoa. So you started writing this, and how has been the experience for you, and the work and the shifting? How has that been for you?
Well, first of all, let me just talk about how I came to write this book.
Yeah,
and what it is that first I was thinking about I wanted to write a book because I work with kids that are in the juvenile hall system, at risk. You call them at-risk kids, right? Youth, right? But I realized is that I was writing this book, and I kept starting over. It took me about 3 years. I'm writing it, and then a voice said, "I want you to write this book as if you're writing it, and you're gonna give it to your younger self. You're gonna give it to little Mikey. He's about 10 or 12, and I want you to write a book. I want you to give him this book. What would you say to him?" And then that's why things began to flow through me at that point, because now it was no longer writing for approval. It was writing to be of service to my own inner self.
Nice.
And then I gave him exercises in it. So I put like processes, stuff about looking in the mirror, stuff about understanding that our thoughts create our reality. You know,
people don't get that.
You know.
That's hard because it's so much easier to say, but if you just did this, then I would feel better. Or if you just, I was having a conversation with my daughter actually, and she was talking about, you know, she's moving through something. And I said, yeah, well, you will continue to move to it until you shift your consciousness. I said, because she said, but I'm not, you know, well, if I force myself, I said, well, when you force yourself to do anything, really all you're doing is focusing in on what you don't have. Because the moment you start forcing, you're really consciously saying to yourself, well, I have to do this because I don't have it. So instead of forcing, be.
That's it.
Instead of forcing be, and once you become it, then you're no longer thinking about what you don't have. You're just living in the truth of where you believe you want to be. That's hard. I mean, no. It's different. It's different.
It's challenging.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
It can be, but it's work. But everything, the diet shift, everything. When we change our diets, can be challenging. You go to your family, they got the turkey out and all that stuff, and the chicken and the dressing, and they be calling you the macaroni cheese with the greens with the smoked sauce, and you got some kale.
I know. My mom, what she would do, she would cook these greens, she put all this pork in there. I said, I don't eat meat. She said, baby, we need the flavoring, baby. We need the flavoring.
So true. But it's true.
Because that's what I said, but I don't eat meat. And she'll take the meat out and still put it
on the plate. Like you said, I can't eat the juice.
But
so what did you do once you wrote all you put it all together the way that you wanted? Did it assist you?
It did. What it is I'm gonna just show you this. Right here it says, change your perception, change yourself, change your life. That order, change your perception. If I change my perception, then I can change myself, and then I can change my life. See, I have been trying to change my life by changing the things around me. When it all begins with the perception. How do I perceive myself? When I look at myself, what do I see? I can see myself as a spiritual being or a physical being. I can see myself as wonderful, amazing, powerful, or I can see myself less than. And I remember I met a woman once, an old woman once. She told me, I want you to create an affirmation. I want you to begin to repeat this every day. And it started like this. I am a unique and powerful being, expressing myself in security and faith. I give unto earth of my gifts and my talents, and I recognize that it is my thing to give, earth to rejoice in it. It is my thing to share, earth to receive. I accept from earth prosperity, love, faith, and that it reflects what is in my heart. Now, I was saying this word, but part of me said, no, but you're not any of those things. You know, and then the affirmation had the nerve to say it reflects what is in my heart, meaning that everything that I see on the outside begins on the inside. Now, the world's been teaching me something totally different. The world told me that when I get that education, when I get that person, when I get that car, when I get the house, then I can be happy. But what Spirit is saying, that once I can be seen to see the happiness, see the joy, see the peace, then it will manifest from the inside out. Now, that's a whole different way of looking at life. And so woke is about beginning to look inside first. Now, I did 10 days in the desert, and I'll talk about it now. I did 10 days in the desert meditating. And there was no one around to mess with me. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Guess who was the biggest enemy? You. Say it again.
You got in the way.
Know that.
And all this time, I thought it was you guys. I thought it was them, her, the world. It was about
deep.
The voice in my head was, I was trying to meditate, like focus on your breathing, focus on your breathing. The voice said, man, what the hell do you think you're doing? Dude, you should be working right now. You ain't got time to be. So I gotta focus on. Then it started saying, man, you know what, you're gonna die alone. You're gonna die alone with no kids and everything. And then I got to the point I was talking to the boy. I said, "Why you doing this to me?" It was like I'm having dialogue, and it blew me away because so many times we want to blame other people.
That's great.
We want to blame other people, and woke is about basically, you know what? When can I? If I can come to the place where I can take full responsibility for what's inside of me, and if I look inside first for love, for approval, for wealth. You know, with somebody once told me, having the end in mind, like I already own it, already own that joy, that power, and that peace. You know, and like you said, eating right is a part of that. You know, it's about being in tune with the vibratory frequency of the plants. You know, we're all vibrating. Yes. This is all energy. Even though I think they're on physical, but that food. But energy. When I'm putting food, plant-based in my food, I'm putting life inside of me.
Yes, you are.
And that life is expanding the energy around me, and it's moving through me. I'm becoming one with it. So
you understand all this? Why you still eat fish?
You know, because like I said, it's not. I'm not in here alone. I'm battling against some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some old habits, some programming, and it's interesting that you said that. Like, you know better, but sometimes we don't do better. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what you need to do, but you don't do it.
It's true. It's true, and because you're still moving, it's still a lot of times still a process. Where can I purchase woke?
Amazon. Go to Amazon. Michael Dyer woke.
I'm gonna write this in the thing.
Yeah.
Amazon. Okay, so since we're talking about mind, body, spirit, guys, we're gonna let me just put Amazon Michael Dyer woke.
Yes. Yeah.
Purchase the book. You know, share it. There's workbooks. I mean, there's like exercises inside for you to begin the change in yourself. That would also probably help you, you know, across the board.
To help you wake
especially
up.
Transitioning to food, all of that stuff, guys. One does not negate the other. Please understand, when you're trying to become one, what you put in here, what you put in here, and all that stuff all goes together.
It's a self-honoring practice.
Okay.
I'm honoring myself by eating right. I'm honoring myself by, you know, doing certain things. So it's a self-care.
Okay. So these are the relationship cards. Now, most people will think relationship cards mean that there's a relationship with someone.
So where did the relationship cards come from?
You want to know about that? I'm going to tell you, okay.
Okay. Well, let me just pull the name up there, called Authentic Connection. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Now, authentic connection, where did it come from? Well, I realized that I never really authentically connected with people. And the reason I say that is because I was always putting forth my representative. And let me give you a scenario. For example, can a person really be truly authentic? Can you really truly be authentic? And the reason I ask that question, because sometimes if you, let's say for example, I've been in the desert for a long time, and all of a sudden I run into you and you got some water. I'm gonna do anything I can to try to get some of that water. I'm gonna try to say what I need to say to get that water, because I want that water, because I need that water in order to live. So I may tell you what you want to hear in order for me to get that water. So what I'm saying, I wasn't being authentic in a lot of my relationships because I had alternative motive. Well, and it's very difficult to be authentic when you have an alternative motive for approaching that person. Does that make sense? Any questions?
Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate you all for transparency. A few years ago, when I started emerging from what felt like a lost place, where I was seeing myself through others' eyes, I realized I had to breathe a few concepts. Loving myself must be full circle. My peace is non-negotiable. Silence others to hear God. I am life. I speak life. I nurture life, and it don't hit no better than that.
I love
you better talk, girl.
Yes.
You better talk.
That was
and
one.
And you're absolutely right, because we end up marrying people wherever we are in ourselves.
Yes.
So, you know, and then a lot of times when you outgrow that person, sometimes we spiritually, like if you and I, and for lack of better terms, like if you and I, if you're used to being a verbally abusive person, I'm used to being verbally abused, we got something going on here. But the moment that I decide that in my life that I no longer choose that, and I grow and I do the work on myself and I buy the book Woke and I'm reading Woke and I'm growing, then all of a sudden you trying to verbally abuse me, we're no longer energetically locked. So now we're out of sync with each other. And the relationship is going to shift out of whack. Like we're not going to be attracted. We're no longer equally yoked because I've done this, you haven't done anything, and now when we look at each other, we see each other like that. We don't go.
Wow.
But when we met, because you like to be this way and I like to receive that, we're together. So we always introduce our representatives. Sometimes they stay for 6, 7, 8 months. Some people's representatives could be here a long time.
Well, and this is why I created these cards, because what happened is that you get a chance to see past the person representative. You know, we're looking at the representative. The representative has a reason that it could be the fact is, I want to have sex with you. I can't just say to you when I walk up to you in the party or whatever, hey, you know what, you look real good, I want to have sex with you. I got to say, you know what, God, I like your shoes. Yeah, your hair looks very nice. Yeah, and what I really want to say is that you're looking so sexy right now. I wish I could just sleep with you. So I got to put my representative because I can't just say that. But inside, I'm feeling it. That's my objective, is to get that. That's what I want. And some of us who want love, I can't say, you know what? It's been a long time since I had somebody love me, and I really need you to love me. I wish you could love me. I mean, come on, girl. I mean, shit, if you love me, things gonna be good. But I can't do
it. Would scare me to death.
But the fact is, that's the whole. So I gotta put forth my representative, because the fact is, if I put forth that guy that's thirsty, that's hungry, oh, my biological clock is ticking. I gotta make this happen. I gotta make this work.
That's a turn on.
Or that girl, as soon as she sits down with you. So when you want to have babies, because I'm ready.
Exactly.
Be like, wait, I don't even know your name.
You know, and so the reason I create these cards because you ask questions.
Oh, you created these cards.
Yeah, these are his cards.
All right. You ask questions, and what I realized is that when a lot of relationships I was getting into, I didn't ask the right question. You know, I was so busy in love with the idea that I might want to know, do you
how about this? Do you
Terry, you so silly.
I'm trying to find
but simple stuff like, you know,
I don't like a healthy lifestyle, okay?
Yeah.
Explain, these are one of the cards. It says, explain your definition of a healthy lifestyle. Now, that's a very important question, because if you are about eating healthy and that person is not, then you know, when every time you go to the restaurant, it might be an issue. I don't want to go eat grass and weed.
That's true.
So,
you know?
Read it again.
Yes.
Explain your definition of a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Somebody in the audience answer that question. Explain your definition of
Type
a
it
healthy
in the thing and we're going to put it
lifestyle.
up on the board. What's your definition of a healthy lifestyle?
Me?
Yeah.
You guys go.
Okay, one of my healthy, my obviously is to have a brain. No, is somebody who continually who takes care of what they put in their body, who likes to physically get some exercise, and someone who's consciously working on growth and being the better version of themselves. And someone who accepts responsibility, 100% responsibility.
I agree with you.
So that's your definition of a healthy lifestyle. What's your definition of a healthy lifestyle?
I have to agree with her. I have to agree with her almost 100%.
What's yours?
My definition of a healthy lifestyle is really spiritually make sure I'm being fed. Healthy lifestyle is that make sure that that's basically it. Feeling that I'm being fed, my meditation, me taking responsibility for whatever's going on in my world 100%. And not blaming someone else.
100%.
That's a healthy lifestyle, is being able to be able to get fresh air, take nice walks, a hike, exercise, eating right. That's a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, and she said healthy lifestyle is continuous process. Baby, it's ongoing forever. Because as soon as you think you got something licked, there's something else to work on.
Always something.
It's always.
And shit will revisit you.
Like knock on the door. Remember me? You thought you had a lick? Girl, I'm sitting in the corner.
I'm back.
But you know what? It's like the movie Beautiful Mind. And I brought this up again when, you know, in the movie, they talk about this character having schizophrenia. And he had all of these different characters in his head that never grew up. And he had to learn how to manage them, meaning he would put them to the side and go, I don't do you anymore. But they never leave. They show up periodically, and it's what we do to them, as how we manage them and what we decide. So it's no different than what we deal with. We all have a sense of schizophrenia. We just don't name our people. And we should name them, because then we get to know them and maybe can get them the hell out of our bodies. You know, name them all. You know, we got the one that wants to eat,
name.
and we know the one that wants to eat all the time, all the ice cream. When they get upset, they want to go back. Or the one that, you know, likes to cause arguments.
The one that just cries.
The ones that cries, that doesn't take responsibility. We know them. Give them each names, and then start identifying them and get them out of there. You know, and stop going, well, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't cry. Okay, well, maybe you just could stop crying because you know that you cry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's work, but it puts the oneness back on you. Okay, so let's do another.
Well, let me say another thing about these cards. What it is that we don't ask certain questions. So we're dating somebody for 6 or 7 months, then we say that person's changed.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you never even asked them.
Yeah, maybe they never changed.
You never changed, just that you didn't ask that question. For example, you're trying to build an empire or somebody, but you never asked them, what's your FICO score? You know, let's talk about, you know what I mean?
Can we buy a house?
Can we buy a house together?
Or do I have to pay for everything?
But we assume because they're cute or they're fun or whatever, they must be like, oh, they're probably good at that. Do you like?
Oh, we don't even. But a lot of times we don't think about it until it's time to do that thing. You know what I mean? Till we move into that realm.
And that's why I created cards. You asked the question before, but the block is if you're thirsty, it's going to be very hard to answer these questions authentically.
Okay. So, what are 3 choices that you have made to help you become the person you are today? 3 choices.
Hold it up.
3 choices you have made to help you become the person you are today.
Those are hard questions.
That's a hard.
Well, you wrote it.
I know. That's what I said. I wrote because they're hard, good questions.
Well, 3 choices is meditation.
Made you the person you are today.
Yes. Owning everything. Owning, taking responsibility for my life, and then making shifts. Those are the 3 things that help me. Because it's just, you know, owning it and don't changing it doesn't do anything. So for me, it was those 3 things. Meditation helps me to get centered to really see clearly. And you know, and that, like I said, it comes full circle. It's diet, it's all of that stuff. It's not just one thing. It's not just, okay, I meditate now, I'm a spiritual being. No, I meditate because I want to make sure that today what I do is put healthy things in me across the board. So meditation, accepting responsibility, and working to grow.
My 3 is that first, after my grandmother passed away, moving to California, loading in the car, I had $1,200 in my pocket.
You had more than me.
You know, moving out here.
A lot of money.
The next thing was that my spiritual practice. I started taking all kinds of classes and started doing inner work. And the other thing is that not giving up in the midst of those suicidal tendencies. I began to realize that, you know what, I have work. I'm here for a reason. And so those things helped me to make the person I am, which is why I do a lot of teaching. I do a lot of helping other people. So that's it.
Look at Tiana.
Yeah, Tiana says the questions may be good for long-term relationships. Couples evolve over time and may need to meet the new evolved person. Yes, but the same questions will work when the person's evolved. You know, now you're asking the question, what 2 areas of your life that you need improvement? So 20 years, you know, when you first asked them, they need this.
Right.
Then 20 years later, it's like, well, you know, when we first said that, this is where I was, but now I'm here. And this is what I'm working, because we are always evolving individually, and it's still about our individual growth.
Hopefully we're
evolving. Yeah. Okay, this is a good question for everybody out there. Is it possible to be in love with more than one person at the same time? Why or why not?
I thought that was after hours question.
No, that the after hours one's up here. Oh, maybe you're right.
No, that's an easy one.
No, this is right. No.
Is it possible to be in love with more than one person at the same time?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's because the human species is definitely able to love more than one at a time. That's what makes monogamy challenging in our species, because we're so capable of loving more than one person at a time.
Shepherd Bet woke me up when she mentioned Puss in the Chicken in another YouTube. I'm new to her channel. As soon as I heard that, I grabbed the chicken and eggs and back to the market they went.
I'm sorry.
But you know, because let's explain to you. She talks about how the juice in the chicken is really pus.
It's pussy.
Yeah, explain that to the people who've never seen that.
Well, because I know that by every species, we'll talk about sentient beings have,
and then we're going to get back to the question, guys.
Yeah, they have fluids, body fluids, and so sometimes I used to think, if I burn myself and it fills up with fluid, I would never ever think of pricking that and sucking that fluid. However, you can take a chicken breast, put it in the oven, and then as the heat draws that fluid out of that breast, you never question that fluid. You act like it's juice. When we know that a watermelon is juicy, an apple is juicy, an orange is juicy. A chicken, however, is pussy. So if you would never prick your burn and suck your own body fluid, why then are you sucking the body fluid of another sentient being when you don't have to? Yeah, that.
I think Mike is like, I think I don't want no more chicken.
And then it's just our responsibility, Mike, with you and the fish. You need to watch Seaspiracy because people on this planet have a massive responsibility. Now, I'm not talking about our government. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us. We have a responsibility to take care of our planet home. And we have been so negligent, and we're so greedy, and we're so selfish. We act like because we walk upright, our way is the only way, and to hell with everybody else. And it's wrong. We share this planet with millions other species, and it's their home as well.
But think about it now. When we're going to go back to the love question. But when you said that, always the only way, we do that in our relationships. We do that with everything. It's no different. When that is your consciousness, that is your consciousness in a relationship across the board. I believe that my way is right in a relationship, and that's why people do this.
Right, and you're in relationships with people that believe their way is the only way. You can be in a relationship with somebody. Have you ever known that person that? Now we all like if you said, and I had to tell the professor la da 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 because he was incorrect, and I told him, and that person says, well, what you should have told him.
Right.
Every time you say something, you said the wrong thing. Every time you did something, you did the wrong thing. Every time you thought something,
you thought the wrong thing.
I don't know why you thinking that. This person never finds anything that you do legit. It's always the wrong thing. Why you say that? What you should have said. Oh, that color is yellow. Now, I think that color's orange. No matter what.
She sounded like she talking about somebody personal.
I mean, I know people like that.
But let's get back to the card. So, no justice, no peace, Alexander said. In love, no. So, for those of you who might just be tuning in, we were asking the question, can you be in love with more than one person? Is it possible to be in love with more than one person at the same time?
Yes.
Why or why not? So, she says, in love, no. To love more than one at the same time, yes. But we said in love. So not to love, because we love, I love you, I love you, I love me, that's so. But in love.
But we, as humans, as a part of this human species, we will fall in love with people for different reasons. Period. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I cannot ignore that. You could look at somebody and be like, I just friggin' adore her because she does la da 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 da.
But are you in love with her?
My point is, right now it's surface. But if you found somebody that you could deeply be that fond of and be in love with them for a specific way that they make you feel, and you love somebody else for something different. Yes, you can be in love with more than one person.
But when you say you love somebody else,
I said be in love, fall in love. I believe that you can. I believe that you can.
Well, you know, there's a song when you try to love too, it's so ain't easy to do. No, I don't know.
I think the key word is
what would you say, Mike?
Love. Right. No, it's just we use that word like everybody know what in love means. I mean, we use it, we throw love around like I love you and assume that person has the same definition for love. We throw in love as though that person has the same definition for being in love. And there's a lot of people in prison right now and say, why did you kill her or him? Because I was in love with him and I couldn't stand to see him with nobody else.
Right.
So you understand, we use this word as if it's a universal knowing that in love. When I say I'm in love with you, what does that mean when you say I'm in love with you? Answer that question.
Is there a card in there like that? Because that's a good question.
That's a card from that card because we use the word love. You got to ask the question, well, what is in love to you?
Because of love, like you said, there are people who take that so far that they will shoot you if you're with anybody else.
You know?
Oh, there people will be like, if I can't have you,
nobody else has.
ain't nobody
I'm
ready to
so
have
in
you.
love with you.
And it happens.
And it happens
Because
all the
I'm in
time.
love with you.
All the time.
Because I'm in love with you. So you might want to, when somebody said they're in love with you, you might want to know, what does that mean? What do you mean you're in love with me? You might want to ask that question.
I'm sorry.
You know.
That's crooked on the wall.
She's going to fix something on the wall. The show's almost over.
Something's crooked.
Wow. So this has been, I mean, we're down to our time. But what we're going to do with Mike, we're going to finish up some of these cards. We're going to have a more in-depth conversation. So that's what After Dark is, but we're not going to be on here. We're going to put it up on the YouTube channel. So you go to Chef for Bed on YouTube, and if you want to continue watching and learning and growing and figuring out what we're talking about.
A voice in your opinion.
A voice in your opinion. You could go on YouTube and watch the taped recording.
Let me tell you where you can find these cards if you want to play with them. You go to Etsy.
Okay, hold on.
It's called
Etsy.
Yeah. E-T-S-Y.
E-T-S-Y.
Yep.
Okay.
Etsy.
They're called
Authentic Connection cards.
Mike, relationship. Okay, and somebody has a message for you, and I'm going to put it up. Cards. Authentic connection
cards on Etsy.
Cards on Etsy. Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Now, someone said to you, and they put it in, well, you're going to see it. Stop eating the fish, Mike. They also torment the fish, and now this is in your body. Test your willpower. You can do it. I love fish also. I'm going vegan after watching Chef for Bed. Go ahead, First Lady.
Thank you.
I love you, First Lady.
And then when you need that fish sensation, then we just come, we give you some. You like mushrooms and oysters and stuff?
Mike.
I don't have to have that fish.
No, but guess what? You can help me put together my air fryer. And I'm going to invite you and Tara over after you guys have, and we're going to cook up some of that
stuff.
That's cool. Could share with everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to help me put my oven together.
Okay.
Well, this was so informative. This is the beginning of our Mind, Body, Spirit shows. We're going to cover everything like you see here. We actually have to have Tico Wells back now because Tico,
that's the man.
I walk with Tico every morning. If you guys know Tico from the 5 Heartbeats and a bunch of other stuff, but he was choir boy. And when he came on before, he was such a wealth of knowledge in the vegan world. But he also, when we walk, we do this thing called nonviolent communication that has changed my life. Just having that understanding. So we have to have him on so we can really share some of that with you so you can have some tools and exercises. Make sure you pick up Woke and start doing the work in the book.
Get the authentic.
And get the authentic. You want to hold it up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it upside down?
Well, I was showing them the authentic. Yeah.
So this is Mike Dyer. We want to thank you for joining us and all of you for tuning in. We had a really nice, engaging audience today. And tell your friends about us and go. Bring Mike back. Tom, yes, we will bring Mike back.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love him. But y'all check us out. And then we have a series coming out, but we're going to be promoting that soon. And we need all of y'all to share when it comes.
Is it time to go?
It's time to go, baby. It is 6:58. I know that.
All right, y'all. We love
thank you
guys.
for joining us. More segments, please. Well, we can't be we gotta make money and live. We can't be here every day. Y'all get us some sponsors. We can do this more often. So find us some sponsors.
And then where are they going afterwards?
You can go to Chef for Bed on YouTube tomorrow, and you can finish watching this conversation.
Oh yeah, because we're gonna
we're gonna finish taping it now, and then you can watch us tomorrow, and for the week you can tune in. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. We love you, Mike.
Love you.
Stand up and show them your bow legs, Mike.
Bye, everybody.
You're funny.
I know. When I got too many computers here. Okay, this one goes here.
I'm so glad she knows how to work this computer. I had no clue.
Oh God, I don't know how to work nothing. Obviously,
you worked it. You got